let's put our hands together. Put our hands together. Bow our heads. And say, hallelujah. We are now going into part 8 of Bubbling Brown Sugar opening on Broadway. Ain't that special? Now listen, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you have watched part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And if you haven't, don't be watching part 8. What you watching part 8 for if you haven't watched the other parts? Okay? You gotta catch up. You gotta know what led to part 8. Okay, so you gotta watch part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you can watch part 8. But for those of you who watched all of the parts, you are now ready for the opening of Bubbling Brown Sugar on Broadway. Put your hands together as we plow on. Alrighty. So, we have been out on the road for about 10 to 12 months doing Bubbly Brown Sugar, garnering wonderful reviews. They loved everyone in the cast. And we ironed out a lot of the things that were wrong with the show, and even smoothed out the book a little bit, because Bubbling Brown Sugar was never known for its book. Okay, so let's be clear about that. Let's be clear. Anyhow, so now we get to New York and we're starting previews. And previews are going great. And I would say it was probably around the second or third night when, or not third night, but during the day at some point, and I was at the theater. And Bob Cooper, the director, he comes over to me and he says, Vivian, I have a great idea. I said, what is your idea, Bob? And he says, well, I think it would be terrific if you would come in on the dolly, stage right, and sing God Bless a Child sitting on a cube. I said, Bob, what is wrong with you? I said, God Bless a Child already works. We've been around the United States. It works. There's no need to mess with it. We shouldn't change it. We shouldn't, you know. He said, no, you got to try it. It's going to be great. You may even end up liking it yourself. I said, well, when do you want to try this masterpiece? And he said, let's try it this evening. I said, okay, Bob, we're going to try it this evening. All right, now let me explain the scenes. In Act 1, there was a cafe scene in Bubbling Brown Sugar. And the cafe scene would be rolled in on this dolly, stage right, okay? Stage left at the end of Bubbling Brown Sugar, or toward the end of Bubbling Brown Sugar, in Act 2, the other dolly would roll in with Small's Paradise. 2 different scenes, 2 dollies. But he wanted me to use dolly on the right side, because that was the entrance I made, stage right, for God Bless a Child. And in general, I would like, the house would go to black after the preceding scene, and then I would walk in the dark, sit on the platform, then the lights would come out and I was there. And then I would start God Bless the Child. But now he wants me perched on a cube on this dolly, and then the dolly would roll in. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Lord have mercy, honey. I'm in a white tuxedo, perched on this cube, on this dolly, and the stage technician, that's not what I meant to say, the stage hand, that's what I meant to say, he fails to stop the dolly before it came to the end of the track. So it went bam! I went flying across the stage, right into Small's Paradise. The audience is going crazy. They're loving us. They're laughing, and I'm thinking, what the? Because now I got to sing this serious song. Them that's God shall get, them that's not shall lose. And they're laughing. Well, I got to do what I got to do. So I go back across the stage, sit down on this cube, on this dolly, and I start God Bless the Child. Well, let me put it to you this way, ladies and gents. By the time I got to the end of the number, toward the end of the number, when I'm singing, God bless the child, they were still laughing. Pointing to me on the stage. Oh, Lord, and I'm thinking to myself, Lord, please hurry up. Let this show in. Let this song in. Take me out of my misery. It was horrible. It was so horrible. And you know what? Probably if I had been sitting in the audience, I would have been laughing my ass off too, because I'm sure that shit was funny. Here's this woman up here in this white tuxedo about to get serious, and then boom, Charlie comes to the end of the track. Boom! She goes flying across the stage. That shit is funny. Okay. So I finished. So now the show's over. And from what I heard, everybody was running for cover. We better go, everybody go. Because we know Vivian is going to be crazy. She's going to be cray-cray. I saw Bob. And Bob, he always has this pipe, had this pipe in his mouth. Hello, Vivian. What'd you think of it? What did I think of it? Are you crazy? I said, Bob, I ain't doing that again. Did you see what happened? Okay. So we'll take it back to the way it was. So they took God Bless the Child, left it alone. He never messed with it again. I don't know why he messed with that song to start with. But we left that alone. Okay. Then there's Sweet Georgia Brown. Sweet Georgia Brown was normal, you know. It was funny in parts. But this one evening, now this is way back in Philadelphia when we first started. I don't know how this happened, but my foot, somehow when I reached that top step leading onto the stage, because I'm coming out of the subway now, my character had just arrived in New York from down south, and now she's coming out of the subway, making her way up the stairs, because she's going to meet John Sage and Checkers Clark. Baby! When I got up to that last step, my foot hooked onto the lip of that step, and the rest, Lord, I went stumbling onto the stage. The audience laughed so. They were laughing. I guess they thought maybe it was part of the act. I don't know. And I'm thinking, wait a minute now. This is good. They're laughing. We can use all the comedy we can use. So I decided I'm going to keep that in. So the next night, I even made my toes go pigeon-toed, you know, turn them in. And they were laughing. Well, when I finished the show, Bob was waiting for me. He said, Vivian, he said, please don't do that. He said, that is ridiculous. You look like something wrong with you. I said, but you know what? They're laughing. They're loving it. He said, oh, Vivian, please. I said, Bob, I want to keep it in. Here's how I looked at this thing. Number one, when I get to the top of the steps, after going across and doing this pigeon-toed up the steps, I'm now going to do the great reveal. Everybody, zoop, spread the word, zoop. Georgia Brown will tear up this town, because I got on the red dress, the legs are showing, little tits all perky. So it's a big contrast between me, you know, doing this whole comedy thing with the way I'm walking, and when I take off the cape and hat. Now, was it over the top? Well, maybe it was a bit over the top. Yeah, if I'm to be honest, it was a bit over the top, but honey, that audience loved it. So I kept it the same. So you know what? I'm going to show you a video of this. This is when I did it in Pittsburgh, when I co-directed with Keith Tyrone Williams. And I was in the show. Can you imagine? It was at that time, some 28 years later, and I'm actually doing my role. What? The press said that powerhouse pulled it off. Can you imagine? Anyway, it should have been a much younger woman, of course. So anyway, here's a video of this walk. In fact, I'll show you the whole song. You can watch the whole song. Okay, see you in a bit.
I'm John Sage. Woo! Woo! Mr. Sage, I sure am glad to see you. I'm Irene Page. You're Irene Page? Don't get me made with Harry. This is my partner, Checkers Clark. Checkers Clark. I'm gonna be doing a show with Checkers Clark. Miss Sage, you know I just gotta tell you. I've been out here on this road getting rave reviews and bad shows. Now you done called me here to New York to play Sweet Georgia Brown. Hey, I guess what I'm trying to say is I sure hope this gonna be a good show. We'll be on it. You get it? With me in it? And me? And me!
I loved Sweet Georgia Brown. I thought Billy Wilson choreographed the hell out of that number. It was camp. You know, not so much dancey, but just camp. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I enjoyed doing it in Pittsburgh. That was in Pittsburgh. And it was done on an amateur level. And the cast, they were all non-equity actors. I had to get permission from Equity. But they rose to the occasion because we basically took a multi-million-dollar show and mounted it inside of 2.5 weeks. But they went and did their homework, you know, because they were working. Most of them were working during the day. But I was very proud of them, and the show got great reviews. Anyhow, so got through that. Now, when we opened, after we opened, we received wonderful reviews for the show. Individually, people got great reviews, and I got great reviews. So I decided at this point, I'm going to get a PR person because management never sent me out for anything. No publicity at all. They would always use the 2 leads because don't forget I was third billed. So I decided I'm going to get a PR person, and I did. But after the reviews came out, everything started coming into the office for me to do this, to do that. And so my PR lady said, Vivian, I don't think there's anything I can do for you. She said, because when I call these companies or call these magazines, you know, they're already doing stuff with you through the office of Bubbling Brown Sugar. And so I think it's going to be a waste of your money. So I agreed. And so we dropped that contract. And I was busy all day, you know, doing Vogue, Glamour, People. Every day there was something. I think I still have that schedule. And but it was everything that I had worked for, everything that I had hoped for would happen. And every day for almost a year, I was going out doing something, either an interview or something, a layout, something. So at this point, some of the females in the cast decided they're going to start acting crazy again. So I'm going to tell you about that and other things in part 9. All right, so come back, watch part 9, and find out what continued to happen with Bubbling Brown Sugar in New York. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again. Don't forget to tell your friends. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in part 9. Bye.